Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Steve again, Harmless Rebel. Time for another hard rock and heavy metal video. This is kind of a mixed bag, what's spinning, a few things that I've bought recently, stuff I've run across. This first one, I was super stoked when I ran across this and couldn't grab it fast enough. They had a couple others as well, but they weren't in as good a condition, and I already had first US pressings of those. But I have never seen this one in stores, and to find a first UK, I was shocked. But Squawk from Budgie, probably my favorite of the Budgie album covers. I've always really liked this one. Super underrated album. You never hear anybody talk about this one. It doesn't have any of their bigger songs on it, but I've always loved this one. And this first UK pressing sounds really, really good. This is the only one of their albums that I have a UK pressing of. The rest are, the rest that I have, I'm still missing a few of them, are first US pressings. It's kind of crazy what's gone on with the price of these, though. When I first got into Budgie about 10 years ago, you could find all of their records for pretty much under 20 bucks, maybe under 30 at the most. Just because, a lot of Americans didn't know who they were. And as the vinyl community's grown and more people are getting into vinyl, Budgie's become a bigger band. And man, the prices on some of these are in the well over $100 now. It's crazy. But I found this one for a really good price. Really good. Really happy to finally have it. And like I said, I've been playing that one quite a bit. Next up, I already had 2 copies of this, both of which I took to the record show to sell this last weekend because I ran across this near mint white label promo. Hadn't listened to this in probably 5 or 6 years, so gave it a couple spins as well. Tooth and Nail from Dokken will always be a favorite of mine. This one is just one of those that takes me back to, was it 86 when this one came out? No, 84. I probably didn't get into it in 84. It was probably 86 or 87 when I got into them. But, man, I love this album. That's probably my favorite Dokken. That's probably fair to say. Next up, picked this up at my local shop as well. I thought it was an original pressing at first. It's not. It's Nakarma. Just another of the 70s hard and heavy bands. This is one of probably the top 10. This is Volcanic Rock from Buffalo. I can't remember if this is their second or their third album. This one and the follow-up, I'm hard pressed to say which one I like better. But this one is really killer. If you run across it, the Akarma pressing sounds good. I hear a lot of people complaining about the Akarma pressings. I've had really good luck with them. I've got 5 or 6 different albums on Akarma, and I haven't had any problem with the noise and some of the other stuff that people have complained of. I also run everything through the ultrasonic as well, so that may have something to do with it. But this thing's just a hard rocker. Check these guys out online if you haven't. Buffalo. I believe they're Australian hard rock. This is one that Brother Aaron hooked me up with. Early U.S. power metal. Kind of in the vein of New Wave of British heavy metal, but this is Graven Images, or Graven Image. People in Hell Want Ice Water. I believe they were a one and done. I think they just did. This is the 12-inch single. I believe they just did a single and an EP, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. It may just be the single, and then it was re-released with additional material. But this is from 84, as you can tell by the big sticker that says first reissue since 1984. But really killer. Another one that you can find for relatively cheap and is definitely worth checking out. Next up, man, I've had the worst luck finding really clean Deep Purple pressings. And it's not that I don't find them in looking good. It's just that they're all so well played. The Deep Purple stuff is just so good. And every record, even the ones that look mint, when you go to play them, they sound terrible because the grooves have just been worn down from repeated play. I've probably had 7 copies over the years of Machine Head. Original pressings, I should say. And none of them have sounded amazing. This thing sounds fantastic. I know there's some of you out there who are anti-Japanese pressings. This thing sounds killer. Machine Head. Finally have a super clean copy to listen to of this record. Next up, the newest from one of my early favorites. This is the new album, Dark Parade, from Cirith Ungol. Let me show you the artwork, because this is the deluxe edition, so it came in the big sleeve here. But you've got the Elric artwork right there that you get from all the rest of them. This one came with a big book, and I can't remember what else, a bunch of posters, and yeah, a bunch of posters, a couple different inserts. It came with a Cirith Ungol bag. It was like 10 extra bucks for the deluxe edition, and I believe this one has an additional album of material that wasn't on the other as well. So for 10 extra bucks, you actually got quite a bit more with the deluxe edition here, which is not always the case, but been playing that one a lot too. This next one I was really surprised by. A little different sound, still new wave of traditional metal. A little more progginess to this one, and in a good way. This is Flight. This is probably their third or fourth record. This was released on Dying Victims, which I don't even know that label. They were one of the new wave of British heavy metal bands. I found by accident, basically. I bought a lot of tapes, and one of them was their first album. I actually thought it was an 80s band that I hadn't heard of, and it turned out it was one of the new wave of traditional metal bands from the late 20-teens, and I really liked them from go. With this one, they've changed their sound. They've gone further into the 70s, and like I said, there's some prog elements to it. Really dug this one. Really worth checking out. I would check out their other albums first if you're more a straight up metal guy or gal, than starting with this one. But this one was, I really enjoyed it. I didn't think it was them at first. When the record first came on, I got up and double checked that it was the right record inside of there. Or that was playing. I thought maybe, because I bought this used, I thought maybe I bought it with the wrong record, but it wasn't. They just changed their sound, and I've been playing this a lot. Really digging the new look, I guess you would say. Next up, just another upgrade. This is also a UK pressing. This is maybe the second or third. This is one of those with neat where. I don't know which one is the first, but they've got the one with the blue lettering, the red lettering, the green lettering, the white lettering. I think this one's the silver lettering. But an early neat copy of Wiped Out, the second record from Raven, one of my favorites. This is another one that I've never liked the US pressing. I've never thought it sounded great. This one sounds quite a bit better, and really happy to have a really nice copy of this as well. Save that one for last. This one I just got yesterday, actually. I played it a couple times last night. I had a copy of this years ago and sold it. Again, it was just a condition thing. It wasn't in good enough condition to keep in my collection. And I found this copy where the vinyl's near mint. Probably VG Plus on the cover, but still really nice. And it's Bullet Boys. Haven't listened to that in a number of years, so I played this a couple times last night. Was really enjoying it. Next up, Gus G's band. I didn't even know about this band, and they've got like 10 or 12 albums. I got turned on to them because Scott told me that I had to check it out, and I really dug it. I bought this and the one that came out right after this. I believe this is like the second or third album, and the other one that Scott did was the album after that. But this is one that Backbreaker, which is Girder Records, did in conjunction with Century Media. And Scott did a really good job on the covers of these. But you've got Firewind, Forged by Fire. And then last but not least, this is one of those records I have always wanted in my collection. The price of these has already gone through the roof. So Motley Crue just did 3 shows on the Sunset Strip. And for each of the shows, they pressed 250 copies of the leather records Too Fast for Love. Each one was a different color. They did the Troubadour, I forget this every time. What were the 3 places? Did I write it down? I thought I had it written down somewhere. The Troubadour, the Roxy, and there was one other of the classic clubs on the Sunset Strip that they did a show at. This one, I believe, is from the Roxy. It's blue. The vinyl is blue as well. If you haven't heard the Leather Records mix of Too Fast for Love, it's totally different. I thought it was just like, there's one song on here that wasn't on the final album, the Electro release, if I remember correctly. Really cool to have this, though. All of them are mixed different. Just really cool. Another one that, and like I said, they only did 250 of it, so there's 750 of these. And it's the first time they've been repressed since 81. Was it 81? Yeah, 81. And those are going for like $1,000 now. I remember when you could buy them for $120, and even then I thought that was too much. But glad to finally have one of these. And like I said, I think these are going for like $300 now. And watch out with the blue ones. I didn't find out till after I bought it. Luckily, mine wasn't one of them. Apparently, a bunch of the blue ones were damaged in shipping, and nobody knew until they opened them and saw damage to the records. So if you're looking for one, just kind of beware. I haven't seen that myself, but I've read it on the message boards. So that's it, though, guys. I hope everybody's doing good. Take care. I'll see you soon, VC. Bye.